My name is Delgadillo. I'm a professor at Utah State University. And this paper that I'm going to describe, and I'll be brief because already took a minute or two, is going to describe the traditional way that we document our impact of our work, as well as other metrics that have been mostly used in the hard sciences, less used in the social sciences. And so when you go out for tenure or promotion, there are two essential parts, which is, at Utah State, we call it the self-assessment, which is basically your narrative. You demonstrate who you are, what your research agenda, why you do what you do. But then also you have to demonstrate the impact. And the way that they want you to demonstrate the impact is not with a narrative, but with quantifiable indicators. So traditional indicators has always been like the age of the journal. So you can say, I have published in this journal who has a longevity and trajectory in my field. And you demonstrate that by looking at just the volume number. So if the volume is 44, that means that the journal has been around for at least 44 years. So that's not a journal that is online and appeared like a year ago, and that's where you start publishing. So it shows longevity and trajectory. Acceptance rate. Some journals publish on their website what the acceptance rate of their papers are. Sometimes they don't, but you can always call the editor, email him, and say, what is your best estimate of the acceptance rate? Because if they say 90%, it's going to be different than they say it's 20%. 20% means that I find submission, only one get published. So it is an important indicator. The review process, you also need to know, is this a blind review? Is this only editor review? Is it a committee review? Because that also will give you indicator of the rigorosity of the journal. And sometimes, like in our journal, for example, we have the editor, the associate editor, and then external reviewers. So it's only 4 people looking at that manuscript. Indicators that I basically stole from the more of the hard sciences are, for example, impact indicators. And they are very good at measuring the academic journal within a specific discipline. The problem that we have in family and consumer science is there is an interdisciplinary field. So they fail us in that sense. And there is a lot of journals that don't even have the H index. But in family and consumer science, the best data set for finding the H index of the journal is Scopus. So Scopus, S-C-O-P-U-S.
Oh.
And so you are trying to, you can say, I have published in this journal, and the H index range from 15 to 58. And so that will give the external reviewer particularly an indicator of the quality of the journal. The good things about Scopus is that not only give you the H index, but also they give you the ranking of the journal within the specific category. So you can say the journal that I have published are in the first quartile, which is basically the top, which, by the way, announcing our journal again, that's where we are right now. Another indicator that you can use, it is the H index. And there are 2 levels. I mean, they will give you the H. You can find the H index of the journal, but you can find your own H index. The H index measures productivity. That means the amount of articles that you have, but then also citations of each of those articles that you have. If you can publish a lot, but no one is citing your work, it's not going to have that impact. And so the H index, the same that it would be for the journal is also for the scholars. There are 3 basically databases out there. There is the Web of Sciences, Scopus, and Google Scholar. For the Family and Consumer Sciences journal, the best one it will be the Scopus, the Google Scholar, because in consumer sciences, we also account not only the referee journals, but also publications, peer-reviewed publication and conference proceeding, fact sheet, whatever it is the case. So that will pick up everything else. But another indicator that I found that I think is fascinating is the HLA index, which normalizes the H index. That it basically provides you an estimate of, given your length in the career, in your discipline, what is the expected estimate increase in your H index as an scholar. So basically it normalizes. It not so much make a relevance for tenure because it only gives you 6 years usually. But when you go for promotion, and when we go at different stages, 5 years after tenure, 10 years after tenure, 8 years after tenure, so it is important to normalize that increase in the index. In other less traditional too, for example, you can also refer in your narrative at the number of authors in your papers. It's not the same to do a solo paper from the conceptualization of the research question to publication than working with other people, because you can split the work, and it is also a different situation. For the family and consumer sciences in general, it's about 2.6 authors per paper, compared to the medical field, in which there are 6.7. The length of the manuscript, that is something that you can also say, because in the medical field, a journal article is only 2 or 3 pages, but in our field, it's usually 20 pages, so it's a lot of more work. If you are a solo and you have several of those 20 pages, it's a different situation when you have 4 or 5 authors with shorter papers. And then finally, another data set that I found that was very useful is ResearchGate. Because ResearchGate provides you beautiful statistics on how many people have downloaded and read your paper, not only in the United States, but it also shows them up of the whole country, the whole world. So you can also demonstrate, you can include them up and say, my work has been read from Australia to California, from the Canada to Argentina, so all around the world. So different indicators. So basically, use the traditional hardcore metric, but then also be creative in how you present the self-assessment letter, how you frame your case for promotion and tenure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.